Hello, welcome to Kevlar's Quest, the Modern Life podcast. I'm Kevin Ijezi. Today's quest is recovering from perfectionism. Perfectionism is exhausting. It drains energy, creates anxiety, and often prevents progress. While there are rare situations where perfection is necessary, such as brain surgery or programming critical systems, it's not a sustainable way to live. For most human activity, striving for good enough is far more effective, with perfection reserved only for the moments that truly demand it. One way to think about this is as a mental switch. People can learn to toggle between two modes, optimizing when absolutely necessary and satisfying the rest of the time. These shifts allows for greater control and balance, reducing the burden of perfectionism. Perfectionism often begins with the illusion of excellence in all things. To maintain this illusion, individuals minimize or dismiss the importance of areas where they lack skill. They may even criticize those who excel in those areas, protecting a fragile self-image. This selective attention is what keeps perfectionism alive. They feel that they can do it, that maybe others are just dismissing themselves, that they feel that they can keep up with being perfect, that others aren't. This is what comes to their mind whenever they think about perfectionism. They see themselves as being perfect in all terms, not even in some, but in all. That's the way they see themselves. Another common feature of perfectionism is emotional identification with the products of one's effort. A simple task or object, something as ordinary as an invoice or a report, can become a reflection of personal worth. When this happens, enormous time and energy are invested in details that may not matter to anyone else. The effort becomes a crutch to compensate for insecurity rather than a meaningful contribution. Over time, experience reveals the truth. The product is not the person. A piece of paper is just a piece of paper. What matters is the actual value delivered, not the ornamental effort surrounding it. Often, the details perfectionists obsess over Often, the details perfectionists obsess over go unnoticed by others. And in my own personal experience, I've noticed that whenever these details by perfectionists go unnoticed, the perfectionists become very annoyed because they feel that they have put so much effort that people are supposed to notice it. But most of the times, others don't even notice it. The energy spent could be redirected towards actions that genuinely increase value. Yes, that effort that you spend, they genuinely increase value. Those efforts should be channeled towards things that actually increase value. That when people see, they say, "Wow, you put a lot of time into this." Not what is irrelevant, but because they are perfectionists, they focus on both what is relevant and what is irrelevant. Of which sometimes they will lose more time and resources focusing on what is irrelevant instead of what is relevant that actually adds value. So, the way I see this is that by focusing on what truly matters to others and letting go of unnecessary perfection, individuals become more effective and efficient. The realization highlights a deeper principle. Value is not determined by the giver but by the receiver. In other words, the cat decides what milk is good. People cannot impose their idea of value onto others. They can only observe, learn, and respond to what others actually find meaningful. They deliver more value with less wasted effort and grow faster both professionally and personally. Perfectionism may feel noble, but it is rarely practical. That is the problem with perfectionism. It's rarely practical. Recovery begins with recognizing the illusion, separating identity from output, and learning to optimize only where it counts. The result is freedom, balance, and the ability to contribute more meaningfully without burning out. Okay, that's our quest for today. Please subscribe, like, and share. Someone there needs to hear this message, maybe someone like you. Let's spread strength and clarity to those navigating this journey. We'll talk more in future episodes. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for listening and take care.